Ka Khalsa So today we are looking at several Shabads that are on the general theme of sharing. When a devotee of God seeks God's shelter, puts himself in my Guru's hands, then the Guru takes care of you also. And this is one of the real blessings of following the Guru's path, is you have this feeling of security. You can say, I'm depending on the Guru, who's going to take care of me. Everything's going to work out okay. So it gives you that spiritual strength, that stability that I get. Somebody's there to take care of me. Instead of having to worry about everything yourself, you can leave all the worries in his hand, and you don't have any more chinta, any more worry, any more negativity. So this is one of the biggest benefits that direct benefits one can acquire, that you can start experiencing if you take that attitude and really depend on God instead of yourself. And it also helps you, of course, overcome the homage and self-of-I. And I don't have to worry about everything myself. I just leave myself in his hands. The first Shabad we look at in that context is Subkur Ayo Sharan Tuhari.
शरण तुम्हारी शरण तुम्हारी शरण तुम्हारी सतगुर आयो शरण सतगुर आयो शरण
Let's just feel that we are, while we're listening to it, that we are coming to IIGS and seeking
शरण तुम्हारी शरण तुम्हारी शरण तुम्हारी सतगुर आयो शरण तुम्हारी सतगुर आयो शरण मिले सुख नाम हर सोबा 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 चिंता ला है हमारी चिंता ला है हमारी सतगुर आयो शरण तुम्हारी
So Vijay, is it Saran or Sharan? Because there is no such word as Sharan in Gurmukhi.
In Gurbani, this is the script was created back at that time.
Right.
It was still early, and at that time in Gurbani you normally don't see any difference between Sir and Shah. In fact, I don't think you even see Shah anywhere.
We
I think it's
don't.
everywhere.
So should we not be saying Saran?
That I don't know what you should say, but it's
Because the way it's written is what
the same.
I know we should be
Yeah,
saying it.
I think it's actually for either Shah or Sir, Shah or Sa, there's only one word written there, so I think it's okay to say Sharan. That's just the way the script was written at that time. The same letter was used for both. That's my opinion on that. Well, I assume people were saying Sharan or Saran and not Saran for everything, but the script at that time maybe didn't distinguish it. If you go back and read the English from a few hundred years ago, you see a lot of things that are spelled in multiple ways at that time, and slowly the spellings became more formalized over time. So maybe some similar things.
Because I was thinking it wouldn't have taken a lot more effort to put a dot underneath, so.
It didn't exist.
Huh?
It didn't exist.
Maybe it came
It didn't
later.
exist.
35 पैंती एपिसोड उस टाइम पे.
Yeah,
No, Matna Sigi, लेकिन there were पैंती. If you look at it, Shasha is actually the absolute last line of the of the Gurmukhi alphabets that we know.
It is
today.
there?
Yes, now it's in the last line. ਹੁਣ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਡੇਟ 40 ਅੱਖਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਤੋਂ 35 ਹੋਣੇ ਸੀਗੇ
You skip
so
some
the last
at that time
script
you
didn't
were,
even have shasha.
that's very possible because also some of the things like commas and all I use now in Punjabi that didn't exist in Gurmukhi before. And all the other things have gotten added over time, so things evolve.
I think it makes sense. The whole idea was to make it simpler for the masses. In Hindi, we have two shares, a regular share and a paid share. So, yeah.
And maybe at one time there was slightly different pronunciations, but there aren't any now, but we still have different shares for different words. Who knows? Anyway, the main theme here is what you experience as you leave yourself in the Guru's hands. Then you get the peace, you get from the glory of the Naam, from singing the Naam, you get that presence and the peace. And you don't have any worries, you know, chinta sari gat jaangi, chinta laik mari. That's one of the key blessings.
अब्र न सूझे दूजी ठाहर आर परियो तो द्वारी अब्र न सूझे दूजी ठाहर आर परियो तो द्वारी आर परियो तो द्वारी सतगुर आयो शरण तुम्हारा.
So Guruji goes on to say that he's showing that when you're going to seek Guru's shelter, you're giving up on everything else. You've tried everything else, nothing really works, and you find this is what really works. I realize that nothing else really gives me that level of support and that strength. Everything else I try takes me only so far. Something is still missing, it's not really there. This is the only ultimate solution, support, path I have. So I've given up everything else and I'm really putting myself in your hand. So to get these real blessings, we often say, okay, the Bani says there's so many blessings, but we are not getting them. Part of that is you haven't really completely surrendered yourself. You haven't given up everything else and really fully dependent on the Guru. So when you give up everything else and say, I'm completely yours, that's when the blessing mostly flow to us. I think that's the way I see it. Lekha chhod alekhe chhode, hum nirgun dev pai. So we are all sinners, however much we try, there is stuff we have done that isn't right in this life or previous lives. So through karma itself, through good actions, you can never really get over it. You can never clear out your accounts. So it's only God's grace that gets you away from there. So he says, by my own account, I can never really get there. So it's up to you, saving. So he's asking for by Guru's grace. Heart giving up and totally surrendering myself. Anything anybody wants to add a question about that?
What comes to mind here about surrender is that it's very easy for a child or a pet who has total faith in the parent or the caregiver to surrender. And when they do that, then the responsibility shifts to the parent to take care. Right? And the Bible says that it is by becoming like a child, Bal Bodh Depayo. So I think when we become that child that has total trust and faith and we look to the parent, then really the responsibility shifts.
The word in Gurbani is viral sometimes.
It's his duty.
It becomes like it is the way he is and you can count on it.
Yeah.
This is what he always do. This is his way. Somebody is putting himself in his hands, he will take care of you. By Gurdas Diwar, which है चरण शरण को एक पेंडा जाए चार सतगुरु कोट पेंडा आगे बढ़ लेता है. You take only a step towards the Guru and the Guru takes only a step towards you. So it says better than if you put yourself in his hands, it says better to take care of you also.
Because to have complete faith in him or to let go of yourself toward him. That also really is not in your hands in a way. So even for that, we have to kind of request, Malik, I have no capacity to give myself to you because I don't know how. With your blessings only, I may be able to do it because I have no control over anything.
And this comes to the old dichotomy, it's all in his hands, but we still have to take responsibility to do that, to make that effort,
Even
to
the
try to work on overcoming our how many. We know we are only able to do that if he allows us to, if it's his grace, but we still have to make our effort. We have to act like we can try.
Sure.
We have to think that we do have the responsibility, the ability to do things, so we have to make our best effort.
I just want to highlight another example when you were saying that avarna suje duji char har parayoto dwari. Guru Granth Sahib has given another example which I would like to highlight here. Panchali ko raas sabha mein Ram naam sudhai ताको दुख हरियो करना में अपनी पैज बढ़ाई जह नर जस कृपा निध गायो ताको पयो सहाई कहो नानक मैं यही भरोसे गई आंसर ना गुरु तेग बहादुर जी ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਪੰਚਾਲੀ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਦ੍ਰੋਪਦੀ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਗਿਆ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਸੁਧਾਈ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਪੰਚਾਲੀ ਕੋ ਰਾਜ ਸਭਾ में ਉਹਨੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਜ ਪਾਂਡਵ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਸੀ ਅਰਜੁਨ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਪੰਜਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਭੀਸ਼ਮ ਪਿਤਾਮਹ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਸਭਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੀਵੀਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਬੈਠ ਗਏ ਨੋਬਡੀ ਇਜ਼ ਹੈਲਪਿੰਗ ਹਰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਸ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਰੱਖੀ ਸੀ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਾਨ ਸੀ ਮਾਈ ਆਈ ਹੈਵ 5 ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਹੂ ਆਰ nothing is equal to them. अर्जुन वर्गा कोई ये देखने में हैगा भीष्म पितामह वर्गा युधिष्ठिर वर्गा देखने में ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਤੋਂ ਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਨੇ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਠ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਨੇ ਰਾਮ ਨਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਵੇਅਰ ਹਾਰ ਭਰਿਓ ਤੋਂ ਦੁਰਾਏ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਹਾਰ ਭਰਿਓ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਸਿਵਾ ਹਾਰ ਪੇ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਈਲਾਈਟ
I want to just add in that story that it goes like that she was trying and she was trying pleading husbands and then she remembered Sri Krishna. So it was at the last moment here, right? So she was afterwards she was having conversations. So they say that she says, "तुसी इतनी देर कित्थे सी? मैं इतनी मेरी बेइज्जती हो रही सी कित्थे सी?" He says, "तू पहले मैंने याद ही नहीं किया." जिसलिए याद किया I was right there. So that's what we do. We try other things and then we give up and then we recognize, okay, this is where we have to go. तो जिसलिए से जाने हैं उसलिए it's instant you get the answer.
एक और भी स्टोरी है ना प्रथमे मता मैं पत्री चलायो द्वितीय मता मैं
प्रथमे मता जब पत्री चला जो है ਜਦੋਂ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ
Try everything else in that.
द्वितीय मता तो मान पहुंचा तृतीय मता कुछ करो पाया मैं सब कुछ छोड़ प्रभु तू ही क्या
Getting all the other advice, try this, try that. Like when you just depend on God, that's what you do.
पर ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ is giving the advice to ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ so ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ we are helpless ਹਾਰ ਪਰਿਓ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਾਰ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਚਾਲੀ ਵਾਸ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਾਰ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਸ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਮਾਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਬੱਬਲੀ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਕਰੇ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਪਾਏ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ
लेखा छूट अलेख छूटे अपने कुंडले सत पक्षी सदा निर्मला सपना दे सबनो
His grace is always there, He's always coming down on all of us. It's up to us to receive it. Sadbakshan, He's always there. Sada Mehrwana, Sabna Deadhari, He gives us support to everybody. The sanctuary is available to everybody. We just have to go towards Him. We have to make that effort and give ourselves to Him.
सदा मेहरबाना सत बख्श सदा मेहरबाना सबना दे
There's a command in here. Commands are the reinforcing lines or examples from elsewhere that are given as additional evidence or support for the movement. There's a very nice one which actually from another Shabad we'll also be covering.
साहिब मेरा मेहरबान जी सकल को देना जी सकल को देना सबना दे अदानी तू काहे जो ने प्राणिया तुझ राखेगा सिरजनहार जिन पैदाइश तू किया सोई दे अदार
God is the one who created all of us. It's His job to take care of us too if we depend on Him. So don't waver from your path. Don't give up. Be firm because have faith that He will take care of His dead.
Is Viral Swabhav or responsibility?
जिन
Somewhere in between, I think it's both.
उपाई वेदनी सोई करदा सा काट काट मालिक दिला का सच्चा परवदगार कुदरत कीम ना जानी है वड्डा बेपरवाह कर बंदे तू बंदगी जिज्जर कट में सान तू सम्राट तू सम्राट अकथ अगोच
कर बंदे तो बंदगी. What is the second bandagi?
Worship, prayer, Ram Simran, it's all comes under Bandi. And the word Banda and Bandi is used somewhere, sometimes together because Banda is like a servant. In traditional meanings, but now it's sometimes used just as a person, but traditionally it meant like a slave. So Banda hai. And Bandagi is tied into that, being a devotee and really making yourself like Janana. Sometimes translated in English as slave Nanak and not Jan Nanak, but Bandi is related to that, Banda and Bandi. So this Praman is a whole other Shabad which I should have also printed out with the meanings and talked about it, but we'll kind of just listen to it and go on to the next Shabad. If you have any questions on it, start me and we can talk about it.
पिंड तेरी
Everything is God's gift, soul and everything.
रहम तेरी सुख पाया
And all peace and happiness come from His grace.
सत बख्श सदा गिरवाना सबना
has kind of two related meanings. Vakshna is also to forgive, and it's also kindness, generosity. So it's a combination of both.
सपना दे अनार सपना दे अनार सतगुर आयो शरणद्वार.
This is all about God's spirit of his being kind, forgiving, generous, and he put himself in his care because he always takes care of everybody. So Krishna Sada Mehvana Sabna Devhari.
नानक दास संत पाछे पर्यो राख ले मोरे मारी. नानक दास संत पाछे पर्यो राख ले मोरे मारी. राख ले मोरे मारी सतगुर आयो.
So Nanak, of course, is the signature word by the Guru. This is Gurbani. Sant Pache Payo means I'm following the path of the saints, what I hear from the saints. The saints include the Guru. And that's what teaches me to come to seeking your shelter, and I'm trying to follow that path. Rakhle ho Bari. I think Bari here refers to in this lifetime, within this opportunity
dawn,
you've given
this
me.
dawn.
Hmm?
Body, then it's my turn,
Yeah.
this turn.
So you've given me this turn, you've given me this opportunity, this human birth, so please, may I take advantage of it and really come to you in this life. So bless me with this, Rakhlyo, protect me, take care of me, Bakshalo, save me.
One question on what you said is Nanak is used as a signature word here.
Yeah, that's the identifier. This whole Shabad is by the Guru. And although it's
By
it's Guru Arjan
Arjan
Dev
Dev.
Ji, but we all use Nanak because they're doing it in the name of Nanak. It's Nanak's light, Jyot that goes in all the Gurus. And when they're getting that divine message from God, they're doing it as Nanak, as Guru, and they're presenting it as Gurbani, identifying it as Gurbani, Nanak, Nanak.
This is being repeated many times that all gurus have the same joke. What does it mean?
That means the same divine light, yet they are the continuation of Guru Nanak's message. And Guru Nanak selected his follower, and they are all doing it as the Guru because they are the Guru. The same divine message is coming to us. The message originally comes from God, right? And Vaheguru is present in all of us, including the Gurus, but in them they are completely in tune with Vaheguru. So when the Gurus speak, they are speaking on behalf of Guru. It's God's message they get and they present it to us. And when they are identifying it as such, then they call it Gurbani and it's written down and it's presented to us and eventually comes in Guru Granth Sahib. I mean, they probably had conversations all the time with people in terms of, living their life and doing things. Not all of that is counted as Gurbani. They're specifically saying this is a divine message. They've identified it as Gurbani and they left it behind for us. And in Gurbani itself, it says many times that this message is from God. Yes, and that's this is God Himself speaking.
Satguru ki Vani, Sat Swarup hai.
There are many quotations where they clearly say that this is God's message. This isn't just my message.
It's like about the total surrender. Just going back. You see that in wild horses or elephants. You have to break them first, break their will completely before
It's
you
the how am I overcoming that trauma, right? In our case, it's how am I.
Exactly. And so something like that perhaps. Do we find something similar in Buddhism or Jainism or other than the Bhakti Marg? Do they have the same?
Vedanta.
Does it require the
I
same?
think all of them have something in similar respect. You always have this concept of overcoming yourself and surrendering. In every religion, there is presented in different words or different analogies or images, but the concept is always there of surrender, overcoming yourself and growing.
Buddhism is mostly compassion and understanding this life is suffering.
That's a much more scientific approach. They don't ask you to take anything at face value. They said, these are the steps, try this, see the results. They don't ask you to take anything. So they don't say.
Ego, I think, is a Hindu concept.
It's there in Buddhism.
It is there in
Christianity may not use the word concept.
But they have
Christianity, no, I'm talking about Eastern faith. Buddhism has it too?
Yeah, there you can read about like what their main message is, always the dualism and ego in some different words, but in English translation, when they come to like Zen also, it's like
The neutral mind.
Yeah. So it's all about giving up yourself and merging with one. But mostly all of them have the same. Buddhism, Zen, even in the Christians, there's this one of the latest books, the Miracle, Course in Miracles. They also talk about the same thing, but in different ways.
But Course in Miracles is really influenced by Eastern philosophy.
Yeah, but it uses all the Christian terminology, but they say that this is what it should mean. Bible says this, but it should actually mean this, and they finally tend to say that it's an egoism, which is we should give up.
Just a very quick comment here. Some rather cynical way. Somebody said religion is for people who are afraid of going to heaven, and spirituality is for people who've been there. So the suffering part, you grow up in a religious, very religious home, and go to when you are till you are a teenager or whatever, then you go away and suffer for a decade or so, and then you come back. So maybe it's part of it.
It's hard for
that I've
I've
tried
part
other
of that
things
also.
before.
Try all other things, nothing works eventually. As you get older, you realize that all those things when they get you so far, you look for something deeper. Yeah, all the we talk about different faiths, so Gurmani itself tells us that there's a common message. Keepan Sole Chandana Chega Chego Chego Des Guru Eko Vesanek. The same message, like you say, Suraj Eko Rutanek. There's one sun, but you get all these different seasons and different variations. So there's a common core in all the faiths. But over time, there are layers that have been put on by religious organizations for their own interest. Plus there's the effect of culture and background and the terminology, all that other stuff. But every message is presented, although it comes from God, is presented in the context of a certain culture, certain people with their own history and their own mythology. The mythology gets incorporated over time and becomes part of the religion. Like the whole Old Testament for the Christians was kind of the existing mythology from before. Like we have Hindu mythology, Greek and Roman mythology. This was the Jewish mythology, and they put it in the Bible. Then they start saying, this is the word of God. And people get confused from all that. But I assume that Jesus Christ brought a core message which was very similar to Gurmani and all the other faiths. We do the same thing, of course.
Surrender, Gurumata surrender for different. The main difference is you can see Lena ji, how he surrendered to Guru Nanak Dev ji. ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੋਤ ਪੋਹਾ ਜੁਗਤ ਸਾਇਸ ਹੈ ਕਾਇਆ ਫਿਰ ਪਲਟੀ ਹੈ the same soul ਆਪੇ ਗੁਰ ਚੇਲਾ ਹੈ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਸਰੈਂਡਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਰੈਂਡਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਣ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਿ ਨਵੇਂ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਮਾਇਥੋਲੋਜੀ ਚ ਹਨੂਮਾਨ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਚੇਲਾ ਹੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਰਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਿਆ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਗੁਰ ਚੇਲੇ ਰਹਿ ਰਾਸ ਕੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਲਾਮਤ ਥੀਮਦ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਲਹਿਣਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਰੈਂਡਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਤਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਦਾ ਸਰੈਂਡਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਯੂ ਜਸਟ ਰਿਮੇਨ ਦੈਟ ਉਹਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੋ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਸਾਰੀ ਥਰੂ ਆਊਟ ਹੈ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣੇ ਸੋ ਲਹਿਣਾ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਰੂਪ ਬਣ ਗਏ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਜ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਫਿਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਣ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਸਰੈਂਡਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਦੈਟਸ ਹਾਊ ਇਟ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ਼ੀਏਟ ਦੈਨ ਅਦਰਸ
Well, that's more of you're talking about bodily, but soul-wise, in Hindu, Christian, basically in very layman term, we have to report to same boss. Same boss for it's different ways, it's different paths. So what they mean, what they say, but basic power, sabta oyo hai.
To become one with the light, is that true?
One with the light, exactly.
true
They language it differently, they present differently according to the time of the era. For example, Shri Krishna came 5,000 years ago. At that time, he Ras Leela Karna also, he was very lightweight. That was not, it was needed at that time. And Ram came very serious, very obedient son.
Maryada Purushottam.
Maryada. So it was needed at that era, it was needed at that time. Sada religion is latest, so we say it is the best, but at this time that is needed 500, it's only 500 years old. So at this time this is what is needed. But they're all the same. It basic is same. And when you get to the top, all jitne bhi sant mahatma ne jitne bhi ne utte pahunch jao, when they are together, they agree with each other at that point. We are at this level, so that's why we are saying this, but it's the same.
More of finding what is common rather than finding what's different. The emphasis is more on the common part and the universality rather than differentiating ourselves from others. Of course, what he found wrong, he criticized. When things were wrong, he said this is the way it should be. But he also said Hindu Muslims mistake it.
Yeah, depending on the culture at the time, what we are, so they present in that way. But basic thing is the same.
ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, that is also Guru Nanak Ji has talked about ਕਰਮ ਖੰਡ ਕੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਜੋਤ ਤਿੱਥੇ ਹੋਣ ਤਿੱਥੇ ਜੋਤ ਮਹਾਬਲਸੂ ਤਿੱਥੇ ਜੋਤ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸ਼ਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, ਪਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਰਵਿਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਬੇਗਮਪੁਰਾ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਨੇ। ਪਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਜਦ ਸਾਡੀ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਣ ਜਾਣਾ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਿਆਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਹੈ।
But the concept of becoming one with God.
Yeah.
Is
ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦਾ ਰੂਪ ਬਣ ਜਾਣਾ।
But this is Hinduism also.
Exactly.
As you to meditate on God.
You become one with the light.
Yeah.
The concept of becoming one on
Exactly.
God is there in all the mystical parts of all the faiths have that concept.
Here's the point view is another level of it.
There
Another
are
level is,
different parts of how.
no, I feel what he said is that your internal experience is so much in love with the Guru, so much so that you want to be him, like him. So that devotion is so intense in you at that level that you can become Guru to Guru. That's
आपे गुरु चेला है आपे।
but that's your internal experience, the devotion. You have to add all those things of love, devotion, bhakti, whatever. That's beyond any discussion of religion, stays below it. This is a layer above it. We are going above that religion.
I have a question which may be going off at a tangent, and so we can table it if we don't want to discuss it. But Vijay, you referred to Begumpura and all of that. Are those levels of consciousness or real places? In your opinion?
I have no opinion.
Yeah.
Gurbani, I can tell you that.
Thank you.
Sikh is not a body. Sikh is a
So
consciousness.
it is consciousness.
Guru is not a body.
Right.
Guru is a consciousness.
Right.
So this is all stages of consciousness.
Right. That's what
Let's go on to the next show. Very next one. We have answered.
मेहरबान साहिब मेहरबान साहिब मेरा
This whole Shabad was there as a praman in the previous one, so we spent time on that. Let's type it to be the very next one.
जी सगल को दे दान जी सगल को दे दान मेहरबान साहिब मेहरबान साहिब मेरा मेहरबान 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 साहिब मेरा मेहरबान जी सगल को दे दान साहिब मेरा मेहरबान तू काहे डोले तू काहे डोले प्राणिया खुद राखेगा सिरजनहार तू काहे डोले प्राणिया खुद राखेगा सिरजनहार मेहरबान
So God is generous, kind. He is the source of all that we can get. Let Him do it for us if we surrender to Him. And He does it for everybody. He's not limited to anybody. It's up to us to seek His shelter. Jesus said, "Go there and on." To kahe dole praniya to dhaki oxygen. So this is the key thing, is to have that faith in our mind, to be, and we don't waver, and we know that He will take care of us. Any questions, any comments, or any discussion points on this?
जिन पैदाइश तू किया सोई दे आधार जिन पैदाइश तू किया सोई दे आधार मेहरबान मेहरबान साहिब मेरा मेहरबान
One who created all of us, it's His job to take care of us too. We let Him do it.
तू समर्थ अकथ गोचर जिया पिंड तेरी रास रहम तेरी सुख पाया नानक की अरदास तू समर्थ अकथ गोचर जियो पिंड तेरी रास तू समर्थ अकथ अगोचर जियो पिंड तेरी रास रहम तेरी सुख पाया सदा नानक की अरदास रहम तेरी सुख पाया सदा नानक की अरदास मेहरबान
He has jumped to the last two lines for some reason. He says, "Jino pai meri soy karda sa." That's where we started, right? To usko pehle se, "Tu kahe dole praniya tu rahi ka se jina." That's where we were, right? And Medini is the word. Not for the earth or the world. At least, I think it's for the earth, but it also means world. It's used.
Universe.
Yeah, it can mean the universe, but I think the specific meaning, I think, is the earth. Jino pai meri soy karda sa. One who created the earth, but in this case the world, which we can extend to say the universe. The sense is the same in here. Soy karda sa. And He's the one who's created everything, and He takes care of it all. Ghatkat Malik Guna Kasa Chakra, and He is in every being. So the divine light is in everyone, and He's within ourselves. If we tune into that and surrender to that, Dinaka Sacha Parvatgar, he is the one who really takes care of each one of us. Parvatgar is like nourishing, cherishing, taking care of somebody. So Bachana, Mata Pita, Samadhana, like parents taking care of a child, that's a Parvatgar. One who takes care of and brings up somebody is a Parvatgar. Dinaka Sacha Parvatgar, he is a true one who takes care of all. And of course, he is the master of our hearts. He's within. The place to find him is really within ourselves. And then he goes to Tu Samrat Agat Kuchit. He is all powerful. So anything that he is capable of everything. So we can't count on him. We can't do it. Tu Samrat Agat Kuchit. Of course, he's beyond our senses. We can't really tell. We can't sense it beyond our comprehension. But he is all powerful. He's there. He tells us.
A gochar is related to the sense?
Yeah, a gochar is what you can't think about or understand.
Oh,
Gochar lies to
I
understand.
thought a gochar was one who's not visible.
I think it has more to do with senses.
Not visible.
Huh?
But
Not
yeah,
visible.
not visible.
Yeah.
It's beyond five senses.
Ah, yeah.
Agochar. So we don't have to really see, we have touch, we can feel also. So air here, we cannot see it, but we can feel it. So it's beyond five senses. So God is beyond five senses.
Beyond our physical senses, but beyond that we have internal senses through which you can intuitively see. And there are deeper spiritual lives with which you can see him. And you can hear him, but not with your normal ears, but with something deeper you can hear. Celestial music you can hear when you are achieving with him. So it's beyond our physical senses, but there are deeper spiritual senses through which you can feel him. Okay, so Tu Samrat Akat, of course, is beyond anything we can describe. It's not describable. And that's the key part of a lot of the confusions that come from individual words and things that we take literally in Gurbani or any of the different scriptures. Because it's the story of something that's beyond what can be explained. So all the explanation is done in terms of examples and words that don't exactly mean the same thing, and stories. And we get lost because we take those things literally. But actually it's because the message is so much deeper that, the Guru presents it in so many different ways so that we can get a sense of the deeper message. And sometimes they even seem contradictory. Some words may seem contradictory, but that's because we are taking them literally at that point. If you don't get lost in the individual specific arguments, but go for the deeper common thread, then you get the real message of the Guru. Because the story is beyond words anyway. That's an important thing to keep in mind. So don't get lost in specific words, because it's like Tatkatha. Samrat Takat Gochar Geoprints Saptililas. Everything is his blessing. Our body and our soul and our spirit, everything comes from him. But him please Sukhaya. And it gets back to his mercy, his grace. Sada Nanak Ardas. This is what Nanak says. Now an interesting thing is Ardas, sometimes we think of as prayer, always asking for things. But Ardas is really more than that. It's a dialogue with God. So when you talk about God, when you talk about how great he is or his praises, even that is Ardas. In Gurbani you see Ardas usually used in that way. It's a part of the dialogue. Nanak Ardas, he's not asking for anything here. He's saying, you are all powerful. You are great, you are a God, so I will tell you, he said, this is part of my Ardas too. So Ardas is when you talk one-on-one to God, that is Ardas. It doesn't mean you're begging for something. And beyond some point, you get past asking for anything because God knows what you need. So there's no point even asking for him. If you have to ask, you should ask for him rather than anybody else. The Guru tells us very clearly. Don't go begging from people, ask for Guru. But then he says, I don't need to ask him for anything because he knows. Anmanya Dhananda. It's our
realization that he always knows.
He always
Our
knows.
realization
We don't have to tell him
happens.
what we need, he knows it also.
I mean, even now he knows. It's just that we don't realize that.
But still you should do Ardas because Ardas is not just asking, Ardas is talking to you.
It's
Feeling
like
the
a
presence.
It's like just little saying going, newborn is born and he cries for food, he cries when his diaper is dirty, he's crying when he's cold, when he's pain, but mother knows what to do right now. So all we have to do is just cry means just remember him.
Kalaa.
And just in tune with him. अपने शब्द विच अपनी सुरत जोड़ो, अपने आप सारे ताड़े अंदर दे भावें दुनिया दी लोड़ है या soul दी लोड़ है, it will be done.
So Das is very
All
important.
we have to do is tune with him, just that's cry, our cry, like newborn. So newborn is not going to do anything, he doesn't know what to do. We have to just be a बच्चा उसके सामने होके अपनी सुर जोड़ लो, अपने आप को अपने तरह काम करेगा.
So we don't need to ask him for anything, but Das is very important, prayer is very important because of what it does for us, not because it's telling God what to give us, because it builds our relationship with him. And you say, I am you're having that dialogue with him. And that's itself a part of the path towards God, like Naam Simran saying his Naam, reading Gurbani, doing it's part of what, it's all a part of a process for ourselves, transformation process that transforms us to be more spiritual, closer to God. So Das is not just asking prayer so he can tell us things, but it's part of strengthening our own selves and our relationship with God. Anybody recognize you singing this? It's an old classic by Muhammad Rafi.
Oh, yeah.
It's a continuation of the same theme we have of how God takes care of those who come to his sharan who pray for him. And then God, jiske sir upar to Swami, so the one who he blesses them as we approach him, put ourselves in his presence, he takes care of you. And there is no sorrow, he overcomes all your sorrow. So how can he have any suffering? So when the Guru asks a question, it's more like saying, okay, there isn't any such thing. So dukh nahi karna koi, iske sir upar to Swami so kaisa paave. Bol na jane maya varmata, marna cheet na aave. So here this is also something you see in Gurbani very often. One line is talking about the ones who are coming to his shelter, and the next line is about if you don't do that, what happens? Those of us who don't approach him. Bol na jane maya varmata. We are lost in maya, in our own pride, and drunk with maya. And it's things that we want to have or that we have obtained. And because of that, we don't know how to pray to God, how to take his name. Lost in maya and intoxicated by that. We are separated from Vaheguru. Marna cheetna, we can't think of the fact that we are mortal. Don't realize we have to think beyond all what's happening right now. मेरे राम राय तू संता का संत तेरे. So sant here can refer to those who are seeking him, his path, his spiritual path. He belongs to them and they belong to him. तेरे सेवक को भव कृष्णा ही, again there is no fear, no worry, because he overcomes the fear of death. That's one of the major blessings is that you overcome the fear of death. You realize you are your spirit, you are part of Vairu. This body is just a transient thing. So you get past that. तेरे से रोको कुछ नहीं जमने वाला है. This is one of the things that the Guru tells us is his assurance, his guarantee to us is that God's mercy and blessing is always there. Teri bakshna mein hai koi satgur ka dilasa. This is something the Guru tells us. You can count on Vairu. He's going to take care of you. His blessings are always there. Jo tere rangate swami unka janam maran dukh nasa. So the previous theme we didn't complete is that again this janam maran dukh goes away from being in tune with Vairu. Jo tere rangate, those are totally imbued with love of Vairu. They overcome this sense of birth and death and transience. I've done all the talking up to now. Again, you might want to pitch in with any comments, suggestions, points to the last line.
You just mentioned that Babaji says you can overcome the life and death. But what maybe Babaji is saying is not only the life and death in the human form, but in any other form. Right? There will be no other life and death in any form. Is that
so
correct?
Part of a process, right? And if you believe in life and death, it can be, but you can come back as a human being, or in some cases, presumably any other form of life as well. But the main issue is you are mortal, you're going to die, and you're all afraid of death. And he's saying you get past that whole issue by saying, by knowing that you're going to be able to get past it and become one with Vairu and getting this whole karma thing getting left behind because you get to a higher plane where that doesn't matter anymore.
Some of the elders say that if you come back after that, you come back because of your choice and because of a purpose to become a teacher. Then you don't come back to resolve your own karmic thing.
Like the gurus.
Yeah, like the gurus, like.
And there are many other sons. So by meditating on Vairu's Naam, Nyaya, Sukha, Payan, you get all this, all the peace, all the happiness that you can ask for. This is the power, the blessing you get from that. Art Pyara Radhe, by remembering him and being in tune with him day and night. Teri Sharan Tere Bhavase Panch Dushle Sade. But to get there, you have to overcome your own weaknesses, the five Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahnkar. And this itself comes from Teri Sharan Tere Bhavase. By seeking your shelter, by having our faith in you, we can overcome these five weaknesses, and all our senses and all our desires, all our weaknesses. And this is, we have to overcome them ourselves, but we have to, by seeking God's shelter and seeking His home, seeking His support, is how you overcome it. So it's a combination of both. You can't get there without overcoming them, but you can't overcome them without God's grace. It's again slightly, always a tricky thing. You can't do it unless you try, but at the same time, if you do it only through heart, through exercise, you think I'm going to, follow various procedures or various yoga or something else, and I'll improve myself through my own efforts. That will only take you so far until you add this aspect of surrender, of sharan, of seeking God's help. Without that, you can only get so far. You can't really overcome them, especially the ego part of it.
So the five villains are not the five senses, it's the five.
It's the weaknesses, calm, cold, low, calm. And those are, again, those are nominal ones. It's a way of categorizing it. It's really all weaknesses that follow from that. I mean, there are variations of that too. There's jealousy, there's hatred, there are combinations of them, but all of them that come out of our individual ego and our senses, our desires.
Someone recently said to me that all of these, the five vices or multiple vices emerge from ego and greed. And he says that those are the two primary ones.
Well, the Guru says ego is the
Ego
primary
is the
one, and all the
primary.
others five come out of that, and everything else comes out of those five. It's kind of organized like that.
He mentioned two.
But it's all, Again, you can classify and slice and dice things different ways. The underlying concept is fairly common, and you can figure out what it is.
So again, answer your question. So ego is the first one to be overcome, but the last one.
You have to start with that, and you have to end with that.
Yes, both.
Because that's the hardest
It's the head and the tail.
Actually, somewhere I read, I don't know if it was somebody translating something into one, but I mean it's related to ego and also about different like birds and the different forms.
Ego and what?
Also, it's related to both like ego and the all other different forms. Beside human form, there are other like Tarasi Lajuna and all. So it was written there that just besides human being, everybody else in every other form is already in tune with God. They are acting under that hukam.
Yeah.
They never like get they never go away from that path. They are always acting under the hukam, but they are very limited. They can only do this. Birds can only do this, and But human is the only one who can realize, but he get caught in the ego, and he never even know that he can realize.
A human being has choices, and that's what.
But the other ones are already acting under the hukam. But human is the only one who doesn't because of the ego.
We have to do this nam japna, getting in tune with Vaheguru, taking his name. But when one reaches these higher stages, the Guru tells us, and we hear from other mystics and everybody, that to them, then you start look around and everything seems to be worshipping God and taking his name. And the body tells us that also, that everything is different by Guru's now. Gavan tulna kaun pani nasi,
I think that's what
everything is singing his praises.
Actually, you start defining calm, krodh, lobh, ahankar, the definition itself of each will actually be very clear that it's ego in each one.
Yes. But you mentioned greed also.
No, if you think about greed, what is greed? I want something.
So the I is always there.
I want something. I comes there. What is more? This is mine. What is ahankar? Pride is basically I. Again, it's all, you see that I word coming in the definition of each of those five. And that's basically.
You see, if you have this cosmic unit of consciousness that the biggest guy, and you think everybody is me, then you can't have any of these things. You can't have pride because everybody is the same thing. Calm, anxiety, control. How can you be mad at anybody when they are all the same? There's no difference between me and you. So it's that separation, that sense of I separate from others, that has to be a prerequisite for any of these. If everybody is one and you're part of why, then all goes away.
So you have to get above personalities, get beyond personality issues. So these are all personality issues, behavioral issues.
Yeah, but coming back to, I think that the point you made, probably I can also add in काम करो दो अहंकार से start करने की मोमेंट से start करना. I guess it's none of that is in our control. Right?
It's all okay.
Basically,
No, it was just
he has to
more
take
of
care
an
all of that.
academic question because this person's, somebody I know says that, oh, I'm on the last, I'm in the last stage because I have to overcome ego. I heard someone say that, and that's the last one to go, and that's why I have so much ego, because I'm so evolved, now I just have to get rid of the ego. So I'm like, okay, so this is the last one to go, or this is the biggest barrier. So,
Christians have another one, very basic, sloth.
yeah,
So,
laziness.
laziness. It can be very
It's a
great.
very
So I think someone had given an
Is
example
there,
of
which, is there an hierarchy?
Yeah, and let me
Yes,
tell you what Gurbani says.
Okay.
I first want to highlight what she just said. Gurbani says, Mrig, Meen, Prang, Patang, Kunchar, Ek, Do, Vinas. 5 rog asad jame, taki ke takas. And then these are 5 animals, 5 jade. Inna nu ek rog laga hai. Mrig, deer, Meen, fish, Prang, patanga, Prang they can have pamra, sense of smell, Patang, akhanda, and Mrig, Patang, Kunchar, hathi, you know, काम रोग लगा है.
हाथी नु की लगे?
काम.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's how you ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੜਿਆ ਐਸੇ ਕਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਕਾਲ ਭੂਤ ਕੀ ਹਸਤਨੀ ਮਨ ਬੋਰਾ ਰੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਪੇਪਰ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਹੱਥ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰੱਖ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਤੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਖੱਡਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੋ ਹਾਥੀ ਆਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਮ ਦਾ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਆ ਤੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਖੱਡਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਸਟ ਵਾਲੀ ਘਾਸ ਫੂਸ ਪਈ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ and then he falls down into that ditch and he's there for several days. ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਮਹਾਵਤ ਆ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੂਡ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਤੇ that's how they arrest him and that's how they train him.
So Mrig and who else?
हैं?
कौन Mrig?
मृग, मीन,
Oh okay.
प्रिंग, पतंग, कुंचर, एक दोख विनाश. एक करके ਇਹ ਮਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨਾਸ਼ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਮਨੁੱਖ ਨੂੰ 5 ਰੋਗ ਲੱਗੇ ਨੇ. 5 ਰੋਗ ਅਸਾਧ ਜਾਮੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਧੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਗਏ. ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਧ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਾ ਸਾਧੀ ਟੇਮ ਕਰਨਾ is very difficult. You cannot tame it with your own efforts. That's what the Gurbani and all these Shabads are saying that. If you want to do it yourself, you cannot do it. You got to have total surrender. ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ. ਲੈਣਾ ਜੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਪੇੜ ਤੇ ਚੜ ਜਾ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਮਿਠਾਈ ਡਿੱਗੇਗੀ. ਹੁਣ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਏ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਿੰਮ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਿਠਾਈ ਡਿੱਗੇਗੀ ਤੇ ਲੈਣਾ ਜੀ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਚੱਦਰ ਵੀ ਛਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੇ ਮਿਠਾਈ ਡਿੱਗੇਗੀ. ਸੋ ਇਹ ਟੋਟਲ ਸਰੈਂਡਰ ਹੈਗਾ 5 ਰੋਜ਼ ਅਸਾਧ